The conditions which framed and taught us our standards have gone with us. Our needs are now different, and our aims must be. The conditions which framed and taught us our standards have gone with us. The world we knew is gone.
Hello and welcome to the Fomo Travel Show. My name is Flight Captain Atola Rosario signing in. What's up? So this week we went to Kenya National Archives, who are opening up very soon, and they're having a campaign right now where they're asking you to donate items of value or historical value, especially for cataloging and archiving and preservation at the archives. Follow us, let's go check it out. So hello and welcome to the Fomo Travel Show. My name is Flight Captain Atola Rosario signing in. What's up? We're here at the Kenya Archives with the director, Mr. Francis Mwangi. Hi.
Hi, sorry. Fine, thank you.
Great.
How are you?
Good. So tell us a little bit about this place and what you do, just very slightly.
Okay, thank you. My name is Francis Mwangi, Director, Kenya National Archives and Documentation Service. This is a department that was established in 1965, basically to take care of the interest of the country in as far as records are concerned. We wanted to keep the history of this country, and that's why this organization was established.
Exactly. I mean, just to interrupt you,
yes.
When you know this place, by the way, for those who are not like conversant with Nairobi, Kenya Archives is like the rendezvous point. If you're lost, everyone says come to Kenya Archives. So everybody knows the place, but nobody knows what's inside. And I always thought it was going to be like colonialist, you know, history about colonialists. But no, people, you'd be happy to know this is our history, it's African history. So how important is that to you?
Yeah, thank you very much again. You may think that there are not very many people who know this place, but there are You'll be surprised to know that there are so many people who interact with us. They have known the National Archives over time. We have a lot of researchers who are coming to research on Kenya's history, both modern history and past history, pre-colonial, colonial, and even the current history, because we have all that information here. Yes, there may be others who normally pass around and they know the Kenya National Archives are the meeting point where you always meet, because this building cuts across the center of the city.
Yes.
Wherever direction you are going, you will somehow pass around the Kenya National Archives. So it's actually located in the core of the country, the city.
Yeah.
However, not all the people take time to come and look at what we do inside, or to try and even interact. Probably they think that it's a restricted place, but it's not restricted. We allow people to enter for free.
All right, it's free. You don't charge.
Oh yeah, no. If you want to see probably the artifacts, we charge a small fee, only a small fee. It's not even enough to buy yourself a Coca-Cola.
Okay.
It's less than a Coca-Cola, but it's normally it's a service that we offer to the people.
Yes.
Be it student, researchers, PhD researchers, master's researchers. Every walk of life you can find something for you to read.
Or even lovers of history like me.
Oh yes.
For
Lovers
those of
of
us,
history will be very amazed by the many types of information that we have.
Yes.
Yes.
Because, for example, I mean, I used to hate history in school because of having to cram like the dates and goldfish dates like 0.
Yes.
But then like I learned how to love history over time, actually through art and art history and seeing artifacts and things like that. That made me want to know about, okay, what about this time? Where did this art come, this piece come from?
Yes.
And isn't that what you do? You collect.
Of course, we do collect, and if you have seen outside, I have put a banner there saying that we are collecting things that Kenyans think that they are important to them. Because your history becomes the history of the country. So we want your history to form the bigger picture of what Kenya is all about.
Exactly.
It's your history, her history, the other person's history that makes the history of Kenya.
Yes.
That's why I'm calling for Kenyans to bring up their photographs, documents which they think that they are important to them, and they may be important to the country. We shall preserve it for them, because basically when you keep a document or an important artifact in your house, it's only you who knows it.
Yes.
And when you are not there, it may end up getting lost,
destroyed. Yeah.
But when we preserve it here for posterity, then we are giving the future generation opportunity to see that type of history or artifacts or whatever it is.
Exactly.
That's why we are saying that we keep your story to become our history.
Yes.
Yes.
So Grandma Wanyande, this is my personal grandma. I know you have some coins in there. I've seen them stashed here. And Grandpa's books. My grandpa has this collection of books from pre-colonial times. Like, oh my God. The amount of times I've tried to borrow to read those, like, no. No.
Now, it's a high time that probably we talked so that those books can be availed to other Kenyans. And they would outlive him and outlive his great-grandchildren if they are here.
Yes.
Because this is a place that's going to be here for long.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm so happy that many Kenyans have taken this call to give us different things in their possession. Just today I've received an email from one person who used to be a public figure in Kenya. And he said, look here, I have these books that they are of different subjects. And since when I look at my children, I'm not seeing anybody interested in reading them, I have decided to donate them to the National Archives so that they can be accessed and read by other researchers doing the same subject. He has sent a list of almost 300 books
Wow.
And he has donated it free of charge to the National Archives.
Wow.
So I'm excited that people are taking up the call and they are bringing up things and a lot of things which we have received.
Oh, and I forgot to ask you. So if someone is interested in bringing something, how do they go about it? Do you have a Facebook page? Do you have a social media page so they can contact you? Do they have to bring it to you, or do you have a way of maybe, coming to pick them? How is it work?
Well, we can come and pick them, or you can bring them.
Yes.
Because we have to look at it and assess whether that particular object, book, photograph is worth keeping in the National Archives. Because what we are keeping is what will become a treasure for everybody, future generations and current generations.
Yes.
So we have to look at it. If there are some books probably which we have probably have a copy of, we don't need to take it.
Yeah.
But if we don't have a copy, then we can keep a copy.
Yeah.
And then equally important, many people are donating.
Yeah.
But there are some people who have some strong attachment to their objects, and they may want to be compensated. We are open to all that.
Okay.
We shall discuss, and depending on what you are donating or what you want to give,
Yeah.
we can allow you to sell it to us. Yeah.
But people, let's not look at this as a business transaction. Look at this as a patriotic, historical
Yes.
value, okay? Because at the end of the day, would you want something to get lost and be like, oh, I mean, if it was a future generations, I mean, there are things that our children do that we don't do that we did, or vice versa.
Yes.
So it's very
You have
important to
summarized
share.
it.
Yeah.
You have really summarized it.
Yeah.
We want people to donate their items. That way you are proud that even if you are bringing your grandchild or your child and say, you see this item, I'm the one who donated to the National Archives. It feels good. It feels, you feel you belong to the history of the country.
Exactly.
So that's a call, and I would also want to request Kenyans to visit the National Archives. Come see the artifacts that we have down there.
Yeah.
Come look at the records. We have records of all types. Whatever you want to study, be even in the history of your people, whichever part of Kenya you come from, we have it. And
Great.
you'll enjoy reading it.
And we'll shame the people who say that Africans have no history.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Mr. Director. Kenyans, please grab this opportunity, bring whatever artifacts. I mean, something as it might seem like it's really rubbish, but just the fact that it was, let's say, even like a bottle from the 1960s or something.
Yeah.
These things are important, they're treasures. And then it gives you the chance to become a part of history. So you can be to your friends like, yes, we contributed to the history and to the National Archives of Kenya. So come down here, follow us, we'll go check out the exhibits. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, Sari. It was a pleasure talking to you and talking to everybody. Thank you.
Wonderful. Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Fine, thank you. What's your name, please?
I'm Julia Moraundari.
And what do you do here?
Okay, I'm a records officer. Yeah, but on contract basis.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are records that are from when? How, like, the kind of records you deal with? How old are they?
Okay, all I can say is that they are maybe from is kind of from 18th century, yeah, up to now.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And what are you encouraging people to do now, the general public, with this campaign?
Okay, what we can tell the public is that there is a lot of information which is held in the National Archives. And we have come to realize that many people don't know what's contained in the National Archives. And at the same time, there's a lot of national heritage in the National Archives. But people out there, they don't know what we contain here. So my plea to all the Kenyans is that they should come to the National Archives. There's a lot of history, there's a lot of materials, there's a lot of publications, and so many intriguing information that you can find in the National Archives. Alright, at the same time, because the National Archives is a custodian of our traditions and culture and a lot of information, I can encourage people to bring traditional artifacts,
Coins, documents,
and pictures, photographs, maps, so that we can be able to increase our collection.
Okay, and then finally, could you tell me who is John and Sylvia Murumbi?
Okay, John and Sylvia Murumbi are I can say that they are the brains behind the Kenya National Archives, because most of the collections that we have a collection that is called the Murumbi African Collection. At the same time, we have the gallery, all the artifacts, most of the artifacts which are in the gallery, they were brought in by the two. So they are the founders of the Kenya National Archives.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, this is the microfilm reader. Not basically reader, but it is after using the microfilm, you're supposed to unwind it. Like when you run it on the microfilm reader from there. So what you do after you go from page 1 to the last page, what happens is that you need again to run it back. You return it back to the first page. So this is the machine that is used to do that. Excellent. Then these are the catalogs. These are the guides, the provincial archives and ministries also. And this is where all the researchers do their research. The computers usually contain the database, the collection that is in the National Archives. So anything that you want, you can get it in the database.
You make me feel like brighter than the moon, shining just for you. You got me, baby. Won't ever deny the way I feel alive. You make me feel like. You make me feel like. Feel a rush when you're close to me. It's so intense I can hardly breathe. Feel like I can barely breathe. You got me, baby.
Yes.
All right, so we're here at the exhibit with one of the greatest tour guys. I love this guy. Just take off your mask and tell us your name.
Yes. My names are Mr. Evans Chance Fomo from the Kenya National Archives.
Excellent. So now we were talking with director about how I love the fact that this place is very Afrocentric. I was expecting colonialist. No, this is actually very African history. So tell us more about it.
Yes, actually the person who was in charge of the collection, the founder, the Joseph Zuzate Gumbi, he was a Pan-Africanist. And he made sure that anything with an African origin that he found in several countries that he traveled, he could bring them back.
Okay.
And that one tells you very clearly that that was for the love of Africa.
Yeah, I saw him and his wife Sylvia. What was he? Was he a diplomat, or how come he used to travel so much? Who was this guy?
Actually, Joseph Burumbi, at the start of the independence, he was one of the lucky people to be appointed as the first minister. So he was the first minister for foreign affairs.
Right.
That one translates that he was mandated to go and open the Kenyan embassies across the world.
Excellent.
And that one translates that he was a well-traveled person and used that opportunity to do the heritage job.
Okay.
Yes.
And this collection I see he started the stamp collections, which I'll show you guys later. We'll go around and see all of that. so the stamp collection, the Mau Mau, was this, when was the time when he started this collection here?
He started immediately, actually before he was appointed the Minister for Foreign Affairs during the struggle of independence when he was still a very young person. Actually his father was an Indian and the mother was a Maasai.
Wow.
So he took most of his time outside the country. For example, when he was the member of Kenya African Union CAU, which was crushed and the leaders were arrested,
Yeah.
the Category 6,
Yeah.
he's the one who remained behind and he was also chased and he went to exile in where his father came from, that is India.
Right.
And he took most of his time there
Yeah.
and he did a lot of things to do with the collection and the library and anything to do with African
Yeah.
nature. Yes.
So basically, so he was a historical. He knew Dedan Kimathi, all of these guys, right? Did he know them, or was this after his time? You know, for us, put it in context for us.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's even a book he has written, A Path Not Taken, which means that that book is part of his heart and that he was in this country
Yeah.
for a long time and he saw a lot of atrocities,
Yes.
which means that he understands his origin very well.
Yeah.
And he came to even get his roots. He could have been India,
Yeah.
and he chose to be here
Yeah.
because of the love of the motherland.
Excellent. So now I see behind you we have the Mau Mau struggle. A lot of these stories about the Mau Mau are very, very hidden, and I love the fact that you guys have actually dedicated exhibit to it. Is that something that's controversial, or is it something that is going to grow, or tell me about it?
Yeah, if you look at the Kenyan history, we have struggled. Leave alone the culture and the ways of life, different tribes.
Yeah.
We have really suffered in this country. There was a lot of struggle for independence.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of our history lies along the struggle and the Mau Mau and the uprisings. And that's why you can see we have dedicated a lot of these photographs so that the Kenyans, the future generation can easily see that this is where our grandfathers brought us and that's why we are here.
Yes.
And then we are supposed to be patriotic.
Great.
Yes, as you can be able to see on our board here, this is a section of paramount chiefs. Paramount chiefs were leaders in society. And actually, sometimes they were the people who were in between the British and the African themselves. Their main work was to maintain law and order, collect revenues and other things. You can see some of these paramount chiefs collaborated and some resisted. The ones who collaborated, they collaborated so that they can get some benefits like education, and that one I think went against the African culture. The ones who resisted, they were resisting because the operations and land, issues to do with land and other operational issues and atrocity that was done against them. So this is a cross-section of paramount chiefs. And you can see another chief that made sure education was high, Paramount Chief Odera Akango is also here. And that's why actually if you go to his constituency, Game constituency, there are very many professors in that area. And last but not least is this woman. We have to be gender equality. There was a woman who was a paramount chief and really her hand was, she was ruling with a very tough fist. She was called Wangua Makeri. She ruled between 1909 and 1910. She was a woman and a very tough. Actually what she used to do, she used to treat men very nicely. Whenever she used to have a meeting, there was no need for her to carry a stool. The stool is going to be found ahead. Ahead means another big man is told to just bend down and she sits on the back of a man and she makes sure the story is repeated and rewinded for 4 hours sitting on the hand of a man. The men refused, and that is a very good story that must be kept for future posterity.
Excellent. Badass.
Sometimes Nyagatanga, Mukuru Nyagatanga. That is, she used to rule in Muranga. Muranga was called Fort Hall, and the story is still kept right now. And there's even a site that is called Nyagatanga Yamukuru in Muranga because of this woman here. Yes, from where we are now, this was the climax now of the independence time. You remember, this is the Kenya African Union flag. This was the only political party that was formed in this country to help the Mau Mau fight the British. But unfortunately, it was crushed, and the leaders, the 6 leaders, executive leaders, were arrested for 7 years. And if you look at this particular flag, it just resembles the current Kenyan flag.
What was it called again?
It is called the Kenya African Union flag, CAU. It was the only political party that was formed to help the Mau Mau fight the British, because the Mau Mau were using very inferior weapons. They could not defeat them. So they saw that let us form a political party to help us deal with these people diplomatically on the table. And that one got a lot of roots, and then we got independence. If you look at the current Kenyan flag, which is this one, you can really see that there's a lot of resemblance. The meaning of the color black, red and green is still the same here, which means it's still in our heart up today, whatever happened that particular time. Then after that, Kenya got independence, and then we had got our first prime minister. That was in 1963, that is on June. And that is when President Jomo Kenyatta became the first prime minister, and he was the head of the government, while Malcolm Donald, who was the governor by that particular time, was like the president. That one describes about parliamentary system of governance. If you look at it well, that is where they want to return back again. Then Kenya became a full republic, and the first founding father, Jomo Kenyatta, took another oath and became an executive, powerful president, which means it was now changed from the presidential system, from the parliamentary system to the presidential system. And this is the system that we are using up to date. But, okay, fine. Behind us here is also an instrument of power. This one is called the presidential standard. The presidential standard is usually the flag of the president. The president of Kenya walks with 2 flags. The Kenyan flag, which is this one, and he also must walk with the flag of the political party that nominated him as the flag bearer, and then that party wins the election. Then the flag bearer is sworn in as the president, and he must use this flag. If you want to know your president, for example, President Uhuru Kenyatta, wherever he is now, he must be having this. This is what tells you the president is in that corner. He has now moved from point B to point C, and it is the power. And it is used during political transition of power. One party is leaving power, another one is coming in, which means the standard one will be lowered, another one is going to be raised, but the incident is done simultaneously. Yes, now where we are here, this is the stamps collection. The study about the collection of stamps is called philately. And Joseph Murumbi married one of the German ladies, who was called Sheila. You can see the purples up there. Sheila, these people were the same, because Murumbi has got a lot of interest in heritage, and Sheila also had got a lot of interest in collection of stamps and textile. And therefore, the wife of Murumbi, who is called Sheila, is the one who did the collection of stamps. Initially in Africa here, the methods of communications were done traditionally. But once the invasion of the British, we now decided to go to school. Then if you wanted to communicate, you had to buy a pen, a paper, sit down, write a letter. But the letter could not go anywhere. You had to go and buy a stamp. And then the stamp will, like for example, if you want to text a message, you must have a credit card in your phone for the message to go through. So it was used like that. And they're also using stamps because stamps, as you can be able to see, for example, you can see African postage stamp. They were showing what that particular country was producing, and that a country could even boast on what they were dealing with. For example, cottons and any other thing. Even politically, they could, if the country could have got independence, they used the portrait of their new president on the stamp. so that they know that is Kenya is now a republic. Or they could use stamp. Stamp was also used for marketing. For example, in tourism, they could put a lion on a stamp, and then they could see abroad this animal comes from Kenya. Then they will come in Kenya, very many, and that one boosts tourism. Exactly.
Yeah, I remember when we were in school, we used to wait for letters patiently because they had love letters. And those stamps, we used to collect them because that's how like we knew that yes, we got letters. So yes.
Thank you.
Hold it up, just see East African Airways. What?
Correct. That's the secret of heritage. Yes. And these stamps actually, because they talk about Africa. And that's why you can see there are stamps from different countries in Africa. And even the political party that was ruling in that particular country, the country used to vote. That stamps was the only way that a country could be able to establish himself or to show their showcase in their country through the stamps. But I think now these things are changing to digital platform.
So now let's go analog.
Yes.
Oh.
So for example, what you are seeing behind you here is a Swahili kitchen.
Yeah.
Because they were polygamous, you could easily see that the first wife could put her utensils here, the second wife here, third wife here, and as for in their own language, they call themselves Mwana Asha, Mwana Fatuma, Mwana Kanti. So it was just a simple method to make sure that the squabbles with women do not fight for the place. That was a traditional African. Yes.
So as you can see, right, bring everything because like nothing, you might think that is not of historical value, but actually it is. As you can see, these are ordinary household items, but you learn something new. I never knew that they arrange things according to the order of the wives. So, yeah.
I'm very thankful to the Fomo Travel Show for coming get this opportunity to come and advise about their price. This is actually an icon. What you can, as we stand here, you can see people does not know actually what happened inside. And we thank you very much for today. I know the people are here sitting over here. They are going to promote our Kenya, our people, and our heritage. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Okay, so you can see this great big square here. It's an amazing place. There's all sorts of activities happening here. There's acrobats, there's photographers. By the way, this is one of the most Instagrammable places, locations that you'll find because this is a place that's a rendezvous. So everyone come here, take your picture here. There's a photographers here who will do that for you. Come and be part of the whole campaign to bring back Kenya Archives, National Archives back to life and bring all your goods, bring everything so that we can be part of history. This is something that is worth it. For the Fomo Travel Show, my name is Flight Captain Anchola Rosario signing out. See you later, back to studio, bye.
Continually, every day, because of the beauty of the oppressor.
Now, Kenya National Archives has always been a rendezvous point for everyone because that's where everybody meets. It's such a central place and it has a wonderful area like you saw. And so this is a wonderful place. The director, Mr. Mwangi, has been there as an employee for 27 years and as a director for 7 years. So in 3 years' time, he'll be like there for 30 years and 10 years respectively. So he wants to leave a legacy, a lasting legacy, and what more than such a campaign where everybody comes in and pitches in and becomes a part of this. So he's also looking for people who can come in and help revamp the place in terms of lighting especially. So yes, that is what I'm going to rate you right now. I give you guys an 8 out of 10 purely because of the lighting. The exhibits are fantastic and I'm sure once people bring more stuff in, it's going to be great. But it just needs more lighting, a bit more decor, a bit more updating. I love the fact that you have an old lift and all this old stuff. But yes, it's a very beautiful building, so keep it up. So for the Fomo Travel Show, my name is Flight Captain Anchola Rosario signing out. I definitely encourage you to go check out Kenya National Archives and subscribe. And then also don't forget to check out new shows coming up soon. Bye!